Hi everybody, it's Patty Mack from Teaching with Confidence. I have a great activity today to talk about, and that's using a trivia board in your classroom. They are very easy to make in case you don't have one, and I have lots of different ways for you to use one. This is mine. It's about 12 years old. There's no bells and whistles, just a flat piece of cardboard, 28 pockets. It measures 36 inches by 24 inches. And why do I use it? Because it's fun, and I love to do fun things with my students. I love to mix it up. I love to jazz things up. Not make wild, not be crazy, just do different things. And every time I do, I get more information for myself and my students. In this activity, I learn more about my students and their knowledge. If we're reviewing for a science or social studies test, I know who's got most of the information, and I'll be able to see maybe somebody who's struggling and give them some help. When we do trivia, sometimes I would do just fun trivia and facts, and I'll share that later on. It shows me kids that are keepers of trivia. I had a little boy, some years ago. I had a room full of gifted students, and he would answer trivia questions that I didn't even know the answer to even a little bit. And I'd say to him, he was a fourth grader, and I'd say, "How do you know that?" And he would laugh and he would say, "I don't know. It's just in my head." So to me, I thought he had fly paper in his brain, and the facts would come in and get stuck. And there they were. But he was so much fun. But you know what? Until we played with the trivia board and we did that, he didn't even know that he had that ability. So not only did I learn more about him, he learned more about himself. I never let my students get out of control, never, because that's not what the classroom is about. Yes, we can have fun, we can giggle, we can laugh. Sometimes we might get a little bit noisier, but never out of control. As I told you, I use a thicker piece of cardboard to make mine, but you could go get a 3-sided board from Michael's or from Walmart and bend those side panels, bend them so that they'll lay flat, or grab some duct tape and just tape that puppy right up to the board. Or you can use foam board. And you want to get some 3x5 cards and make them all one color. Now here's a picture of the library pockets. Very simple. You might be able to get them from your school librarian, or go to the public library and see if they'll donate maybe 30 of them to you. If not, you can go to this teacher supply store there and get some. They're not very expensive at all. One of the ways that I used the trivia board just for fun was to give the kids a nonfiction article. And I'd say, in 90 minutes, we're going to play trivia. And so they would read it maybe once or twice, and we would talk about, this is important. You want to remember facts. So what do you need to do to remember facts? And this is kind of teaching them how to study. And so we've already talked about a lot of graphic organizers. And so they would choose the one that would work best for them and write down all the material, and then we would play the game. But during the game, you could not use your notes. The facts had to be in your head. So that was another way of talking to the kids and saying, what did you do to prepare for this? How did you remember that fact? And so it's teaching other kids some of the strategies that their classmates used to hang on to information. If you used it, you could use it to review for a science or social studies test. If I don't want to write the questions or I don't have time, then I have the students do it. And I would assign 3 students to maybe have pages 75 and 76 and tell them they each have to write at least one question. And when they do, the question and the answer have to be on the same side of the card. I used a dark marker on this one so that you could see it when I took a picture, but you would want the kids to use a pencil so that nothing soaks through. It'll take about 45 to 60 minutes to play a game of trivia. And I always used popsicle sticks. And the reason was because gifted students, which I've taught gifted students pretty much exclusively for the last 10 or 11 years, And they really have an issue with fairness. It's very, very important to them that things are fair. So picking randomly out of popsicle sticks is a perfect way to do it. So I would pick a popsicle stick out, and then that student had an opportunity to pick any of the pockets that still had a 3x5 card in it. And then, if that student did not know the answer, they could ask a friend to help them. Or I would always let the kids pick a partner if they wanted to be with someone else to make them feel better, because some kids get scared. They're afraid when, everybody's staring at them and I'm reading a question, they're going to get embarrassed or scared, and you don't want that. You want it to be fun. So some of them will say, can I have a partner? Yes, absolutely, you can have a partner. This is just practicing for the test. There's no set rules on this. Do what makes you feel comfortable. I did give sweet treats, and you can decide if that's something that you want to do. I made it really easy. If you answer the question, you get 2 little Smartie candies, and I'll show you in the next slide how I did that. And if a friend was brought in, if you asked a friend to help you, you each got 1 little candy. And so that bag of Smarties would be $2, and it would last 3 or 4 games. And so it's a real cheap treat, but I know some people don't believe in that, so don't do it. Just play the game. Or maybe you just keep track of who answers the questions, and the top 5 kids who answer the most can pick their classroom job for next week, or just play, just have fun. You have to do what's comfortable for you. Now I'm going to tell you how I played the game, and then you can vary it based on what's your style. So when the kids came in the morning, as they were unloading and getting ready, I would take the popsicle sticks in the container, and I would pick one at a time out and write the names on the board. And I made a list of all the students in the order that I picked their names. Now that's the order that I would use to say, okay, you're going to pick from the trivia board first. You're going to pick second. And I'll show you why I did that in a minute. So let's say that Bill, his name was the very first one. Okay, Bill, you're up first. Okay, he chooses pocket number 6. You ask the question. Bill says, I don't know the answer. Well, do you want to ask a friend? Yes. He asks a friend. The friend says, dude, I don't know the answer either. Now, this is where it gets really fun. So you go to the popsicle sticks and you mix them all up and you pick out a name. Now that student has an opportunity to answer that question. If they know it, great, they get 2 candies. If they don't, you pick another one and then another one until somebody gets it right. So when you're all done, you pick up those sticks that you pulled out one at a time to try to find somebody to answer, and put all of them back in again. And at the end of the question, all the students' names are back into the container once again, ready for the next question. Now, what's great and the beauty of this is nobody gets to kick back and not do anything. They've got to pay attention the whole time. Because every time a student misses or doesn't know the answer to a question, you immediately go to the popsicle sticks and you could pick out anybody's name. So that gives everybody, hey, you better be paying attention. Number one, because you might get 2 little candies, but better than that, you might get another question. And I never repeat it more than 2 times. So let's say that, Johnny doesn't know the answer, so I pull Becky's name out of the popsicle sticks, and Becky says, can you repeat it? I am sorry, Becky. I've already repeated it twice, so we're going to have to go on to the next student. So you got to be listening, you got to be paying attention. Now the Thanksgiving trivia is one of my favorites. I did it every year. I would grab trivia from anywhere. I'd get on the internet, and I've included some questions for you that were in a woman's magazine at the checkout line at the grocery store. Great questions. And I would write them all. And this was our little Thanksgiving fun time in my classroom. So I've given you some. Now, on some of them, I wrote bonus questions. So if you look at the third one down, a turkey's gobble can be heard. So let's say that Susie, it's her question. And I'll say, Susie, you have a bonus question. So first I ask the first one, a turkey's gobble can be heard, and I give her the 3 choices. And she says, she guesses 1 mile away. You're right, that's great. You just got yourself 2 candies. Now, here's the bonus question. And I threw in some math. How many feet are in 1 mile? And she says, I don't know. Okay, well, go get your 2 candies and we'll give it out to the class. And I reach into the popsicle sticks, pull a name out, and see, boy, who knows how many feet are in a mile? So that's why you always got to be paying attention and listening in this game. I have put these questions in the resource section of this website so that you can just download them and you've got 10 questions on your way. Plus, you can learn a lot of cool things about the turkey. When you're all done with the game, you can get a file folder, write Thanksgiving trivia, staple up the sides, drop in the 3x5 cards, and voila, you are all ready for next Thanksgiving. See, simplifying your life. Here's some other ways that you could use a trivia board, and I'm sure you can come up with twice this many ideas. And at the beginning of the year, what a fun way to get kids excited about what you do in your classroom by saying, we've been going over the classroom rules. We're going to play trivia now and see what you remember. You could throw in the library rules, classroom rules, school rules, just to be sure that every playground rules, that everybody has gotten the rules. Now, here is the amazing thing about this activity. So let's say that you've played twice in your classroom. Now, you've got something you need to do. You need to stuff the report card envelopes, or you need to get papers ready for the parent conferences that night. You need to write your classroom newsletter by the end of the day. Yikes, you need an hour. Well, there you go. You've got trivia. So you pick 2 very responsible students and you have them do your job. You're in the classroom, you're hearing everything that's going on, but you're going to be working on your project because it's important. The kids are still learning, and boy, asking 2 kids to help you is awesome. So that's what you could do, because sometimes there just is not enough time. Oh, that's a joke, isn't it? We have so many responsibilities. Now, to make it even better, you can go on a beach. Oh, no, wait a minute, sorry. To make it even better, you could ask a parent, if you know ahead of time, ask a parent to come in and take over the game and do your job, and then it's even better. But you still have to stay in the classroom. Legally, you cannot leave the classroom unless, of course, that parent is a substitute and, you're allowed to leave. But otherwise, you need to stay in the room and do all your work there. So you've got an hour of time. So what I would do is I would create a couple trivia games. You can do animal trivia. You can do all kinds of stuff. Have them in your file in a just in case file, when you need a little extra time, and have it ready. So if anything comes up and you need an hour, boom, there it is. So thank you, teachers, for being willing to try new ideas. Thanks for being a part of this website. And also thank you for, expanding on these ideas and sharing with us the ways that you've improved upon them. We're stronger when we work together. I created this website, teachingwithconfidence.com, because I wanted to share with you the techniques and strategies that I have learned and used in the 30 years of being a teacher that really strengthened and simplified my teaching. So be good to yourself. Take care. And I'll see you inside the next video.